And I'm Jessica Tiller.
We are very excited about bringing you this Flexible Seating Workshop 101.
This is a workshop that we're going to be conducting as part of professional development at our own home school this upcoming school year. So you guys are going to be getting a glimpse into one of our mini workshops per se, because obviously we can't keep you here throughout the course of the school year. So we're going to lead into this Flexible Seating 101 workshop with you guys for our first session is what it would actually end up being at our home school for professional development.
To kickstart the professional development, we would have the teachers come together and we would start by having them brainstorm and think and ask the question, tell us about your favorite spot to sit and read a book. We would then share a Padlet and allow the teachers to upload their responses. After we have some time to reflect and have a conversation about where do you like to sit, where do you like to get comfortable to read a book, we would then share a Padlet link.
So we did the same thing with the children, and they filled out a Padlet, but we actually borrowed this one from another school so we could have some responses to share with you guys. And they were asked the same question. What's your favorite spot to sit in and why? Because they are the important ones. This is who the flexible seating movement is intended to impact. And you can see here some of the options that were shared. This person said the beach chairs because they're cozy and you get to sit with your friend.
My favorite spot in the classroom is group 3 because of the crates. Also, you can see the board easier too.
My favorite spot in the classroom is the yoga mats because you can lay on your belly.
My favorite spot in the classroom is the beach chairs because it's comfy.
My favorite spot to sit is in the beach chairs because it's comfy and you get to pick a friend to sit with. And you can focus more when you're sitting in the beach chairs because you're closer to the TV.
My favorite spot in the class for flexible seating is the back table because it is really comfortable and no one can disturb me.
So as you can see here, these students have made several different choices. They've chosen a variety of different seating selection, and you've heard them talk a little bit about how flexible seating is working for them, why they choose the place that they chose. So that's them showing that self-regulation, and they know if I sit here, I can sit with a friend, or if I sit back here, I can sit at this table, and no one's going to bother me, and I'm going to be able to focus.
So as you can see, students support the flexible seating movement. And I think they found that they can get comfortable, relax, and learn.
All at the same time.
So what does flexible seating look like in the classroom? We have a short 1-minute time-lapse video that shows you the action that happens when students are actively engaged with flexible seating. So let's check it out.
It didn't go.
You didn't hit go?
You didn't hit stop.
Oh, hit stop. Hit stop. So I hope you enjoyed looking at the video to get a glimpse of what really goes on. So after that, we would like to pull the teachers back together and say, what are some things that you noticed? How are the students engaged? What did you see how are they moving around?
We believe that the reflection that happens after this video is a very important piece in understanding flexible seating and seeing it work, seeing what it looks like in a classroom. So what's the big deal? On average, our students are probably spending about 6 hours a day in our classroom. And before flexible seating came around, a lot of that was spent just sitting in a regular student desk and chair. We've looked over several types of research, and several other scholars have indicated that seating arrangements within classrooms have a big impact on student success. Another thing that benefits the students is that the flexible seating has been shown to increase their attention and help promote their self-regulation. It's also been a leading factor in improving their classroom behavior.
A teacher testimonial that we found online that we felt has meaning and value that I'd like to share with you. One of the benefits of flexible seating is helping our students become metacognitive of their learning process and what works best for them. Occasionally, ask them why they chose a certain spot to help them get them thinking about how they learn. This will be an important life skill that they will use for years to come. This is by Cassie Talmanez. Our research study. The purpose of our study was to understand the perceptions on whether teachers think flexible seating impacts student achievement and behavior in a K-5 elementary school setting. So, what are our thoughts on flexible seating?
Some of the questions that we set out to find when we were conducting our own research study was what happens when students are offered a variety of flexible seating aside from your traditional desk and chair. How, if at all, does it affect their behavior? How, if at all, does it affect their learning?
We believe the significance of our study could be beneficial to teachers and administrators, beneficial to students, benefit to the field of scholarship, and our participant for this study was a first grade teacher with 4 years of teaching experience that is currently piloting flexible seating in her general education classroom.
So much like we're doing here today, we believe that our study could potentially be used as a guide to support the flexible seating implementation in other classrooms. We also feel that the flexible seating approach has been shown to increase attention and promote self-regulation, leading to improved classroom behavior and student learning, increasing their academic performance. We also believe that our study helps address the gap in literature. There wasn't a lot of literature out there that stated that flexible seating was being used in a general ed classroom. Most of it was in a SPED classroom or contributing to helping children in that type of population.
These are the findings from our research study. We noticed that straying from traditional seating, it allows movement in the classroom. There was less time spent redirecting students' attention back to their work, and students had choice. They were in control and felt empowered by being able to make those decisions.
Gains in their achievement were also noticed. There was a direct correlation and a direct link to their academic performance. Students were more engaged in things that were going on in the classroom. Students were focused and had less time where their attention had gone away and got stuck on something else. They were right in with what they were learning. There was also positive behavior that was happening in the learning environment. There was a strong sense of the classroom community. The students displayed more self-control. They were able to self-regulate, probably because they were getting that time and that movement in, which was really valuable. And the students were viewing learning as fun. Now we're going to give you some insights straight from the mouth of the teacher that participated in our study.
Improvement in learning and engagement. Liz stated, "I truly believe my kids focus more when they are able to move around a bit and are comfortable."
There were benefits for students in her class that were hyperactive, those students that had ADD, ADHD. Liz noted that she believed flexible seating has helped all of my students be more successful, but it especially helped my kids that were hyperactive.
Improvements in student behavior. Students were actively engaged in the learning process throughout our observations. Liz says, "I've had parents reach out and say that they can see such a difference in their child's behavior, and their self-control has improved this year due to being able to move around a little more and not being confined to one spot that they do not get any movement from."
We'd like to give you an opportunity to hear from some more teachers that have flexible seating in their classrooms and how it's helped provide the learning environment that those kids in their classroom needed. We're going to share this quick video with you from Edutopia and let you get a glimpse into what that learning environment really looks like, and let you hear from some more teachers that have experienced flexible seating within their classrooms. Let's check it out.
The transformation of space has completely elevated student engagement.
How do we provide the environments that kids need? Sometimes to be in their caves and be private, sometimes to be at the watering hole and working in small collaborative groups, and sometimes in cross-pollination where they're able to really share their work and work with each other.
My kids love to be under things, behind things, around things. We have 5-gallon buckets in my room that we sit on. We sit on crate seating that I made in my backyard out of a crate and some plywood and some foam. And I also just threw a lot of pillows on the floor. Offspring is like a baby squirrel. Is that something that might be important to your research? It might be important. From day one, I've said, you may sit anywhere you like as long as you're safe in our classroom.
That's working out really well. Keep on going.
We're really looking at how do we support kids working collaboratively. And we can't do it if we're isolated in rows and every kid's an island.
The first thing that has to happen is the teacher has to have a vision for their room and a willingness to say, I'm going to throw out some of this stuff. I don't need this traditional schooling equipment.
When you walk into a room that we have done, you'll see tables. You don't see individual student workspaces. In some classrooms, you'll see at least 3 kinds of seating. You'll see flexible bookshelves that are mobile that can be moved so that the room can be totally opened up, or little nooks and crannies can be created.
What do you know about soil, Lily?
So that everybody can see everybody and we can participate as a community.
It helps plants grow.
Good.
How can you do it on a dime? What we found is teachers are really hitting the streets the week that college kids leave town and seeing what they can buy for their classroom.
This is what I'd like you to accomplish today.
Beginning of the year is a good time to ask if any of you have a couch or a chair that you have just sitting around. The kids would like to read on it, and it could be a reading corner. And that's how I started. And then it grew and grew because it was so successful. You're good at finding facts, she's good at typing. I love it. When the students walk in the room, I'll say, sit where you work the best.
When I get down into a couch and more comfortable, it's almost like it's a bit distracting. It's not exactly the environment I want to be working in, but for the other people, clearly they have their optimum working environments.
Ms. Harris lets us choose, and also since she lets us choose, we ultimately choose what's best for us. We work better together and individually.
I've seen the kids not only be a lot more engaged, but they seem happier. They seem more likely to engage in conversation.
Because the space in this room has evolved throughout the year, the students' work has improved immensely. Their grades have improved. Just the conversations that they have with each other are so invigorating to hear.
So as you guys are aware, we're sharing this workshop with you all, but we will be presenting it to our faculty and staff. And this would be a time after that video where we would go into what's next. So what is next? As you're aware, here at our school, we've been implementing flexible seating this past school year in 1 classroom per grade level. And you guys are here because you're interested and you've expressed interest in learning more about this option and to see if it's something that would work for you and the students in your class.
So now we would like the teachers to take some time to go out and observe the classrooms. We want them to get a true snapshot of what flexible seating looks like and feels like. During their observations, we want them to take time to make positive notices. What do they see the students doing? How are they interacting with each other? Then we also want them to take the time to think of their concerns. What do you see as a problem? What is holding you back from our mindset of thinking that this may or may not work?
So now this would probably be what you would consider our second meeting in our professional development workshop, because this would be after the teachers had had an opportunity to go out and observe flexible seating within classrooms here at our school. They're going to come back and they're going to share their reflections that they've had through the form of a Padlet. That's how we would kick off the intro to the next workshop session. And they're going to give us the good, the bad, and the tell me more. What were some wonderings that they had? What were some good things that they noticed that they saw going on? What were some things that concerned them? Were there children that may not have been always acting appropriately? And they're wondering, what am I going to do with that when that happens in my classroom? What are some things that they wonder about? Where did these teachers get this seating? What was that thing that that child was sitting on? I have the seats, now what? This would be part of an ongoing professional development series like we have mentioned before, and obviously we would be meeting frequently, more so than just what you're seeing here. But we wanted to give you guys a glimpse into what's to come and going forward at the meetings with things that weren't included here. One of the first topics that would be addressed after the workshop that we have just done would be organizing the space and making it functional, which would touch on how are these teachers going to put these materials in their classroom? What is it really going to look like? How am I still going to be able to function and get throughout my day? Because flexible seating means a lot of more bodies on the floor, little people everywhere, and they need a spot to put their stuff if you've taken away their desk space.
The next phase would be classroom management and student seat introduction. This would be a very in-depth training on how to set up a classroom management plan that would specifically work for you. How could you tailor your daily classroom meetings that it would fit and positively impact the student seat selection? And we would also discuss the positive and negative consequences if students utilize the seats incorrectly.
We'd also hit on maintenance and maintaining flexible seating. There are going to be hiccups. There's going to be things that break, yoga balls that pop. What happens then? What do you do with those students? How do you have a conversation where it's not some type of punitive punishment, but they understand that they maybe weren't helping take care of the new seats in their environment in the way that they should?
The next step would be troubleshooting sessions. What are some issues that might come up during the implementation of this program? Have you seen any struggles with the kids? Are they fighting over a type of seat? Is there something we could do to help you brainstorm how to make this better?
And those will occur at the end of each professional development session, because there's going to be times when something arises and they have a question about. So we'll take the time at the very end to again have that reflection, which is very important, and troubleshoot with them. Lastly,
I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. We thought that if they wanted to expand on their vision and make it more their dream a reality, what can we do to help them see it through?
thank you guys so much for participating in our workshop, or our mini workshop. We're really excited about being able to take the time to present this to our faculty and staff over the course of the next school year.
Bye, thanks.
I never teach my pupils, I only provide the conditions in which they learn. Albert Einstein.